So, Big Nasty, the Bucs super fan of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. You see him all the time from Fox 13 to newspapers, even
The
out there
Hall
in the
of
stadium.
Fame.
Hall of Fame. You know, this guy has seen it, done it, Bucs, breathed it, and he probably makes a little cake and eats it too.
Lived it, loved it.
Uh, Mr. Big Nasty himself, welcome to the show. We haven't had you on it for a while, so let's dive right into the Buck stuff.
Let's do it, man. Let's do it.
What'd you think about Sunday, man? Like, did you get to go? Like, how was the pregame? Did you get to go out and like mix up the crowd a little bit before the game?
Yeah, it was pretty cool. I mean, we ended up doing we have a nasty for a day, so we ended up for the charity thing. So went to Cheesecake Factory first, and I don't know if you guys know who Casey is, but Casey's we call him the draft kid. He's the one that has been battling cancer, and he was the first person ever in Buck history to announce a first round draft pick. Amazing. I don't know if you guys remember him.
Yeah, I do.
And Casey's just a great guy. Him and his dad came down from Atlanta, and they have, I don't know if you guys know, you ever heard of the Buccaneer Invasion? It's huge up there in Atlanta. So when anybody goes to the Atlanta games, it's like a home game because the tailgate is like enormous. You're talking probably 300 to 400 people that go to that tailgate. And
That's
John
a quality
Casey is
scene.
Oh, yeah. Well, I look at it this way, man. When you get that many people at an away, game that are all Buck fans, it's pretty impressive. It's even better when you get around here half the time,
Yeah.
So, but no, it was great. We ended up going to that. We did the Cheesecake Factory. Then we went in early.
Cheesecake Factory.
Oh yeah,
You got bull drooling over here.
Cheesecake. I'll take a cheesecake, my friend, any day.
There you go. The only thing that stunk, man, I got a Cuban sandwich, and then I was like, I'd like to get a cheesecake to go, but by the time you got out of that sucker, it'd be all melted. But
Yeah.
I got to vent a little bit, guys. I'm a little disappointed. Actually, I'm a lot disappointed.
I already said.
What I'm talking about is not the team performance. I'm talking about the fans. What I mean by that is I get it. I know it's hot. It's hot every year. But 4:00 game, you got Tim McGraw that's a headliner. I mean, I could not believe that place wasn't a sellout. It was very disappointing. And I know you got to start looking back and go, are the Bucs really doing everything they can? I mean, I don't know about you. You go to a game now, and oh my God, the graphics and the visual aids and
the production stuff. Like, I watched the Sunday night game, like the NBC production. And just how they show their TV, it's beyond it's way more entertainment than
Oh yeah, that visual was unbelievable. I remember when we always had the digital and half of it would be out back in the day.
Yeah.
You were just trying
the
to
old
make
sombrero.
ends meet. Yeah. Oh yeah, I'll never forget it.
Yeah.
And then but then you look at that. That was great. The concert was fantastic. I mean,
do you see how small that stage was for him as well?
Yeah,
they brought in two speakers.
It's almost like, why didn't you just put him on the pirate ship?
Yeah,
you know what I mean.
That'd have been better.
I would have did. But
I mean, that's a hard logistic to set up a whole stage though, and all you're not gonna have like a concert before that.
Yeah,
but it was actually on the platform where you stand up and drink your drinks and everything. The second level concourse.
Yeah.
It was right there.
But here's the deal, guys. I mean, bottom line is you can't have it on the field. You're having a 2-hour concert, and then you're starting a game. There's no way they're going to be able to break that down.
Yeah.
So, but seriously, they pony up. They get the headliner down there to give something extra for the fans. And, yeah, I'll be honest with you. Then what was crazy is, again, a lot of 49er fans. So, I mean, I wish, it's almost like the old days, man. You had 45,000 that were diehards that always show up. But, I hate to say it, these 45,000 are dwindling because they're getting older, or I hate to tell you, they're dying off.
Yeah.
And, for God's sakes, I'm 52 now, so, even I'm getting up there, but me, I ain't no jump ship chump. And getting into the game, performance-wise, Okay, let's talk about performance. Yeah, it sucked at the end. That really bites. But 2 minutes left to come all the way back to score a touchdown to win it would be unbelievable with 2 minutes left. But we throw a pick six and it goes, and everybody wants to jump on Winston. Right? I mean, the whole world does. I mean,
yeah.
I tell you what, part of being a quarterback is taking the butt whipping, right?
Yeah.
But
I mean, he was.
You had two penalties.
He was decent up until then. He was decent up until then, and that was just like a. That last one was just like a rookie, like, man, like, come, all right, dude, like, I thought you like learned that lesson already.
You know, but playing ball.
Yeah.
You win and lose. That didn't lose us the game. Give me a break.
Yeah, I mean, it was already,
man. Touchdowns called back. That changes the game completely. And one of the holding calls on geez, I'm going blank, on Dotson was a joke. I mean, shoot, I'm telling you, that was a complete joke of a call. And that cost us, you know, and it changes the game. But in all general, here's the improvements I see. We have a badass kicker, okay? Our defense looked unbelievable.
Yeah, who were the two? There was two guys that I was watching the game, and both of them are like the third. There was one guy on offense and one guy on defense. That's like whoever.
Talking about Hargrave? Wasn't a third.
There was
not the pick six guy. I mean,
it was one. I think one wide receiver is like somebody the third, and then there was a defense guy that like man and they were like new kids I think man, and they like I was like I hadn't seen them and I was impressed. I just
yeah, but think about it. Where were our weak points? Defense and kicking, and we've improved that. Our offensive line didn't play a great game; they played an average game. But we developed a running game that we haven't had.
Peyton Barber ran hard. I respected him. He ran hard.
Yeah. What do you mean?
I like Jones. Jones is who really impressed me.
That's the kid.
Because like I'm not gonna lie, because I was watching on and they were saying how everybody was saying it was a bust because of the first year and everything, and like he really didn't do nothing. But like usually it's that second year where they take that step. I know it's the first game, but like I feel like he might be a sleeper. I might really took that step because he looked good out there. I was impressed.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of highlights, and let's face it, the thing I'm not worried about is our offense. Here's what people don't realize: how many quarters did we play in preseason with our starting O?
Yeah.
You know, I mean, before you even finish, man, but you really like
none.
I was ready to come in and just say, forget the Bucs. You just already got me convinced.
Let me tell you something. Game speed and practice speed are totally two different things.
Yeah.
And when you got 2 quarters of game time and with a starting O, and you didn't have any success when you were doing it in the first place, you know, you got to start thinking, man, I understand, hey, keeping everybody from injuries, but, you know,
that's why they give you preseason,
I expected 3 games. I expected 3 wins these next 3 games. I expected us to win our home opener. I expected us to go in and have a hard-fought battle against the Panthers and then come home against the Giants. It was imperative to get off to a good start. So, do I look at this game being a must-win?
Yeah.
Yes, I do.
Yeah. And it's Thursday night.
Bear with me. I got the
Thursday night.
Bear with me. I got the monster screen.
The games are so ugly on Thursday too, so they can win. It's always ugly on Thursday.
Yeah, that's been the Thursday night ones though. That's like
they're
the big
always
production.
but they're always an ugly. There's probably like 2 out of all year that are really good games. They're always ugly games, low scoring.
Yeah,
ugly games. You can
I'll
win
take
those.
that as long as we win, man.
Yeah,
like we gotta like come
the
back.
Bucs can win as ugly as they want to right now, and I'll be happy.
That's gonna give
But it's funny. I put a post out there saying, "Oh my God, I purposely stayed away from Facebook." You know, right after the game.
You know that was gonna happen. Here we go again. That's how it's gonna start off.
Oh, but man, it was ridiculous. Thank God they got that hide button because I was hitting hide. I swear to God, I hit it so many damn times I got a cramp in my hand.
Yeah.
That's how bad it is. It's ridiculous. And when don't get me wrong, guys. I got so many damn Facebook friends. I don't know all those people. But, man, I'll tell you right now, it annoys the hell out of me when all I see is negative. And I look at it. First game of the season.
It's only one game, though.
Yeah. So.
And it wasn't like
it
wasn't like we're the Dolphins, dude.
It was the
that kind of an ass beating.
The 49ers didn't help though, because Like they didn't look good at all. So that just didn't help the situation. If we would have lost to like a top tier team the first game, I would. But when you lose to a team you should have won, then it made it worse.
And I totally get the fan base being upset. It's been a long time since we've been in the playoffs. We've been having losing seasons year after year, and they're looking for a product. But the thing is, I keep going back to me and my childhood and going, geez, I've been Big Nasty since 1987. And then I go, before that, I was 8 years old when I started. And, I still think that was the worst because 0-26, and getting abused as a child, man, all the kids making fun of you.
I grew up in Cincinnati, so I don't want it. You at least got a Super Bowl. I've had pain for life.
We had pain like 84, 85.
Yeah, y'all still had a good. You still had a good run. Like I've never seen a good run. Like the playoffs.
The Bengals.
They haven't won a playoff game since I was a kid. Like probably in the early '80s.
You have never gone through 0-26, pal.
Yeah.
I don't want to hear a damn thing.
That's a pretty shitty number, man. I mean, we can go ahead and be honest with that.
They win 4 games, 20 years, man. So like one bad year to like 20 of winning 5 games and not making the playoffs and not winning a playoff game. It's even worse.
I just think it's a different world, man. It's different fan base, different everything. I think everybody wants it to be fixed right away, and I think
you're not going to have a miracle cure, man. Like there is no miracle cure.
But you can look. All right, you see how nasty the Lightning are right now. Just in give them like 2 years and they just fell off the map. And you see how every game sells out. It'd be a totally different world.
Oh, it'll be empty.
Oh, give it 2 years of like losing, and the third year, like halfway in, you're still losing. The seats are gonna get empty again.
These fans are tough, man. I mean, even when like the Rays are like doing good, they still don't sell out.
Yeah, that's a different. That's a big stadium. Like,
well, but I mean, they don't even look close to like when they show on
they
like
sell
TV.
out but the thing is, they can sell out because
when the Yankees come.
No, not the Yankees. Just home openers always sell out.
Yeah.
So it can happen.
Yeah.
If a home open, so it can happen. It's like literally like the first 3 games, like you see the seats are filled. At least the first one.
I feel like I don't know how we could get like a Bucs first game to be the late game where it's not 1,000,000 degrees would just really help us.
It was a compromise.
It
was still 4 though. It was a little bit later.
4's better than 1 for sure.
Because it starts shining at 12.
Guys, I mean, we still have Big Nasty on the phone. Let's not forget, too.
Yeah.
Okay.
But here's the dice. You're right. It was a later game, but, you had the concert at 2 o'clock. But bottom line is, I'll tell you right now, man, after an hour, probably around 5-ish, the sun went down. Going down off the back because I'm on the Bucs side.
Yeah.
It was actually pretty comfortable, so
Yeah,
I'm not flipping out about the heat. But the deal is, it's just disappointing, and I get it. People are going to complain about the heat. Then okay, the only other thing I can think of the Bucs doing is, doing the canvas tops like Miami Dolphins do, because nobody's going to spend big money to redo a stadium. Especially when you're losing right now. I mean, they can't even get a damn stadium done for the Rays, for God's sakes. So that being said, I honestly think winning's going to heal everything, but until you start winning, you're not going to pack it, and you're still going to have, just like the old days, when the old Norris division, when you had the Lions, the Packers, the Bears, and the Bucs.
Yeah.
I mean, you had more visitors than you did as far as our own fans.
It was
and
Packer
it's
people
still
coming
like
down to
that
eat out
right
of
now,
snow.
dude. But it's still like that. I mean, if you don't think the Giants are going to be a pack in that house like they did the last couple of years, shoot, they're going in like looking like, hey, we're the only win they can get, like we are looking at them.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like, and they do travel well. I got to give Giant fans. Plus, you got a lot of transplants.
There's a lot of New York out here though by default.
Yeah.
But I get it though. You are right. They will travel too, but you got a high amount of New York that's here waiting. Is the Giants? Are they Giants here this year?
Yeah, they're playing.
Yeah, they are.
Oh yeah, that's gonna. There's 50% of the New York Giant fans are actually from New York, minimum, even more.
Yeah, a lot of them are like here. So, but mainly, man, we gotta do Thursday night. Like Thursday night's a big, because that's the big like TV Thursday night football game,
you're right.
marquee.
National stage, man.
Yeah.
National
Are
stage.
they still in them ugly full color jerseys?
Yeah, they are.
Say that again.
You know the color, the color, whatever they call it, when
The
it's
full
full
red.
color. Are
No,
they gonna be full?
I don't think it's the Red Rush. I don't think that.
Yeah, the
I
color
think they're
rush,
going
color
white.
rush. I was like, I hope
Yeah,
they're
they're
done
not
with
doing
the
that color rush. No, that's the Colts game and the Saints game is when they're doing that.
All right, thank
But
you.
they'll be in all white, white
Yeah,
on white.
that's cool.
I
All
do
right.
like the all
Yeah.
white. Oh, we're gonna be clear.
Now,
out
why
there.
do they
We're
why
gonna
do
be
they do
dark.
that?
Just a gimmick. Money.
Why do they do what?
Why do they change the jerseys so much?
The colors.
Yeah.
Well, I think this year it's more like I think they might have went with preference of the players because I would have never guessed them playing in red on opening day. With
I would have
the Heat,
thought like
you know?
they could
Yeah,
at least
dude.
did pewter.
You
I
know?
would have liked the pewter gray, all pewter gray. I could have did that.
Yeah, you look like a
Oh, yeah,
you
okay.
look like a Civil War.
all right.
I could have did that, but
We
no,
got
because
a
it got to be a
fashion
solid
designer
color.
among us.
Fashion
Oh,
designer.
he's a
Yeah.
Fashion designer.
Jazz does like his
You
man.
know, you would have liked them in all pewter than the all red. That's all I'm saying. If you're gonna,
No, get out of here. Hey, if it was up to me, they go back to the creamsicle. So
yeah, but they're not
Yeah.
gonna do that
That's the way I
though. They're
feel
gonna,
about it.
come on. The Seahawks going neon yellow.
Well, they get their same stuff from the Ducks,
So
man.
like, yeah.
Guys, all that is marketing anyway and selling jerseys, man. Let's be
Yeah.
honest, But I do like the red on red. I think that's pretty cool. I think at least
It's a lot.
I'm all about
we
the
don't
all
have a
white
good
one.
record with red on red, but
we don't got a record
but,
with regular jerseys.
Yeah.
But like,
yeah. So
I'm
but,
excited
yeah,
about the
we'll see
all-white
what
one.
happens come Thursday night. Should be a good game.
I'm not even gonna lie, man. I like.
Are you
how
gonna-
I like how you're saying this.
Are you going to be there live?
Am I going to be in Carolina?
Yeah, you going to
Yeah.
the game?
No. I got a board of director call I got to be on, and it's bad enough that they're trying to schedule that damn call during the
Oh.
game. They got to
Oh,
be out of
no.
their mind.
Oh man.
No.
So,
It's a late
and
call.
it's actually the funny thing about it is the Professional Football's Ultimate Fans Association one board of
disrespectful.
director meeting. So
Yeah.
yeah, I don't know.
know
I don't
what-
schedule them.
You know what that is?
Yeah.
Yeah, they're doing that on purpose, dude. I'm sorry, man. You need to tell them to respect my authority.
No, it's called the mute button, buddy.
Yeah, there you go. I'm just listening with it, man. I'll have an earbud in, but I'm not really listening.
I'll definitely have the game on. I ain't missing one down. So,
Nice.
But it just sucked because I wanted to go to a cigar bar and chill out and watch
Yeah.
it there, but too noisy for that kind of scenario. But
Yeah, I don't know.
we're
man.
excited about it, man. I still think if we can win this game, it'll
feel
go
good.
from everybody jumping off the ship already to jumping right back on. And
Yeah, but
Yeah,
they
hopefully we can
always
figure
do
out.
that too.
And it's the Panthers.
Yeah.
If we can
Yeah.
actually beat the Panthers,
The
like
Panthers
that's
are
a
you
man.
they're still a
They've done that for
McCaffrey
years.
is a beast.
Yeah, dude. That's
He's a beast.
And you
So
never know
got-
you never know which Newton's gonna show up. So
I'm not worried about. I'm worried about McCaffrey. He's gonna put, regardless, he's gonna put numbers up. So you're right. If Cam Newton shows up, then it's gonna be bad news.
yeah,
McCaffrey's gonna put numbers up regardless. That's happening.
I don't know.
guys, you're missing the storyline, man. I'll tell you what I'm really worried about is GMC. I'll tell you that right now.
Oh
Everybody
yeah.
in the world can't stand GMC. Nobody likes GMC.
Why?
Let me
'Cause
tell
he
you
went-
something about GMC. That's going to be a handful, man. Mark my words. Now, I'm more nervous about that than anything.
Did he really?
You
I
know,
don't think he
so-
stood out last game. I caught some of the Panthers.
Let me tell you something.
I
He's
know.
coming.
I know.
Yeah, but he knows
I'm
us.
just
Though.
glad
That's
He's
the
going.
thing.
He's going at
I'm
the
telling
Jay.
you,
So
he's
he's going
gonna-
at the Jay
you're gonna
because
see-
he's such a nice guy. He's gonna be nasty that night, though. You're right.
He's definitely motivated for that game.
He's
I'll
going
tell
at the
you what,
Jameis.
I was one of probably the only fans that loved that guy, and I did. You know what? He wasn't a Warren Sapp.
No, Joe McCoy's a nice dude.
He was
He
still
didn't
a
have to
great
go to the
player.
Panthers, though. He didn't have to go to. He could have went to the Ravens. You knew that.
Listen to me. You know, and I know. It's all about business.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
But he still could have went to the
and
Ravens.
let's be honest. Did the Bucs do him right?
No, they
No.
didn't. But I'm saying he could have went to the
Okay.
Ravens, though. He
So-
went. I'm
So
not
you
mad
could
at
have
him.
let him go and let him know
He
he
can go
was gone
anywhere.
a lot earlier, so he could have negotiated and went anywhere he wanted.
You're
But
right.
no, they held him on all the way to the last minute and let him go. And I hate to say it, they did the same thing with Warren. They did the same thing with John.
Yeah.
You know, when I'm talking about Warren Sapp,
Yeah,
John Lynch, that's
Lynch.
just
Yeah.
the way they do business. Hey, I get it. It's business. That's what you're doing. You want to go through the draft. You want to make sure you get your backups and who
But
you
he
want.
still
and you go
produced,
from there.
man. It wasn't like he was a
No,
dud.
they everybody knew that he wasn't going to be there.
Yeah.
Everybody knew. It was known for months that he wasn't going to be there. The way they was treating it, so I get it. You're right.
Right. At least announce it. At least let him know and let it be done with his agent and go from there.
Yeah, they drug it out
I still
disrespectfully.
respect him. You know, whether he's in the Ring of Honor or whatever that, who knows? But
He's not going to make the
bottom
Ring of
line
Honor.
is, he will retire a Buccaneer. I'll guarantee you that.
Okay.
There ain't no doubt in my mind.
Come back for
And you know what? I'll still think, hey, I can look at all. You know, I can look back at a lot of players. That guy gave his all every year he was with us and played pretty decent. And if you look up, he was always in the top tier of all defensive tackles, inner D line, as far as throughout. So when people start talking, it's the problem is he was compared to a legend, and that's Warren Sapp. You know, you're just not.
Yeah.
It's like
Warren
you're
Sapp
just not
had a lot of
gonna
help
get
on the
close.
sides, though. He had Simeon
Dude,
Rice. He had a
Sapp
couple
had
guys that had
Simeon.
big
He had
ears.
Chidi
Derek
Hanatu
Brooks,
there with him. Like,
he had a
man.
lot of people, so like they made a difference. Like he never had any like defensive end like that really. Like, JPP last
All right,
year.
time out. I get what you're saying. He had a team around him.
No, Sapp's
no,
still a badass.
I wasn't saying. No, I wasn't shooting him down.
Silly.
I just meant
that guy right there. He had Culpepper, in the middle with him. He had a McFarland in the middle with him, and those guys were probably just as equivalent as any other inner tackle that we've had before. Now, somebody brought up Chidi, which is a real good friend of mine.
Yeah, that guy's cool
Chidi
as
Bang
hell,
Bang.
dude. Like,
Chidi could get off. Chidi played
Yeah.
well for us.
and that guy
But
was
you gotta
cool
also
as fuck.
remember Eric Curry?
Yeah.
You know, the guy was like a boss defensive end. I mean, come on. So it wasn't like he had the cream of the puff. You know, those guys developed together. The Barbers, the Lynches.
Yeah, that
as
was
far as
a
the
solid
Brooks,
crew.
the Sapps,
Solid crew.
So yeah.
I mean, I
Come on,
wasn't
that's
saying
the best
no. I
draft you could
wasn't
have ever
saying
had.
he didn't do his job. I just meant that he had all these guys around. So like, even though he was great, like he
Like
still
2 or 3 years.
he had great help on top of being great. Even though like McCoy did his thing and he was great, he didn't have that extra help that made him look even better. He didn't have those extra sacks from other guys. Just made the whole defense look better. If you got one defensive tackle doing his thing, it's not going to mean anything to a whole game. But you got everything working for him. He didn't have the whole defense to show like, yeah, we have this great defense. Because if you put Jared McCoy on any other defense
He's
at any
gonna kill
time
shit,
that
dude.
had DBs and linebackers that helped out, he'd be in the same Sapp category. Because I think McCoy is great. And now you got me worried Thursday night because I agree with you that he might
He's gonna run
might
wild.
have that. You always had that
And
flashback
let me
game.
tell you something,
He's gonna have that
but
flashback
I'll
game.
say this though. You probably, when we watched them play against the Browns, our offensive line, it was a debacle, in preseason. But I'm going to tell you, we just went against a pretty damn good defensive line with San Fran.
Them
They
LSU
got some of
boys,
the top
Bosa
talent.
and Ohio State, they got some.
But let me tell you
Auburn,
something.
Alabama,
Carolina's the same way.
Alabama guys.
Carolina's got a great defensive line now. I'm telling you right now. So that makes me a little nervous. So
It's gonna be a battle.
I'm just hoping we can run the ball and get off that way and see what happens. So I'm excited about it.
I like Jones. I think that because he's the guy that can catch the ball. So that check down and he was running hard. Like those like 5-7 yards to add up. Like he's got it. Those like first downs we need. I think he could do it.
All right, Mr. One and Done. Okay, we did one game, and now the guy's an All-Pro. And if that was the case, they were so 100% sold, he'd be starting next game, right?
I think he's there. For me, like I'm just saying that he was a disappointment last year. Like I was like, because when you're a second round pick, like I just understand like running backs like that's second year and the promise he has like
I'm getting comfortable a little bit.
So I get that like he can make that extra step and like I'm more wishful thinking because I don't want to doubt him because I'm not on Jameis right now.
I think he's going to have a good season too. I'm not saying I think we're going to have a better running game, but here's my thing: based on the one game, our offense looked pitiful, but everything else looked improved. You guys agree?
Yeah.
I
now
do.
We're also talking about an offense that has pretty much almost the same identical players that last year was the number 10 in the league.
Mm-hmm.
So why the hell are we really freaking out about an offense that we know can actually do it? And all they need to do is get back to gelling. And with only 2 quarters and 4 games to work the starting O, I think that tells you a lot. So
they give you
just had a full game.
They give you preseason for a reason. Like you need to go, like not get banged up, but at least go, like try to get your game speed. Like I wish college football doesn't get preseason.
Right.
Like, man, when you're going into your
But
first
mainly
game being
preseason is
badass,
to get you back in the roll of things.
I'm still mad about it.
You saw Griff. Griff played pretty much almost the whole entire time. So as far as quarterback for us.
Yeah.
And that was because Gabbard went down. And, he got a lot of playing time. So, give it a little time and don't, like I always say with everybody that's listening.
We're not jumping ship.
Man, don't give up on J-Boo yet, man. You got to give him some time. And you
close.
don't think he wants to do well?
It's not that he wants to, man.
Yeah, he's trying that. Yeah. It was the first game. It was the first game jitters, dude. I'll give him that.
You got me locked in Thursday really heavy right now. Thank you for the motivation because I was really down on James. I didn't want to, and I was real quiet. You just shut me up. You made me be like, you know what? I can't say nothing. Everything, all your points are great points. So and I respect
don't get me wrong. Well, time out now. I'm sitting there watching the game just like everybody else.
I know, but you still don't have faith, though.
And I went, you got it.
Here we go. Yeah,
I
know.
So, I got the same feeling everybody else does. Don't
think
Big Nasty just says, hey, let's do happy dance and go home, No, but I will tell you this. The one thing that ticks me off, one of the things you're going to notice if you ever Google Big Nasty, you'll see some of those shots where you could tell I'm completely ticked off, and I'm like, this is ridiculous. What the hell are we doing here? That kind of picture looking like.
Yeah.
What ticks me off, the whole game, we're in it, we're doing well. You think they'd be snapping shots of me getting nuts, right? No. These yo-yos purposely, and I'm telling you, I can't wait for the next home game so I can, call them over here, and then when I talk to them on the sidelines, say, come here for a minute.
Yeah.
Why is it they got to stick around me when we're getting, beaten last 2 minutes, and they want to get that snapshot of my sour puss.
Yeah,
I don't
the
know
whole
what it
rest
is.
of the game and everything else.
You talk about being ticked. I wouldn't even look at him, and you can tell he's trying to adjust. I'm watching this guy walk the sideline trying to get a sad face of me, and I'm like, I know what he's trying to do, but it was like, that's the stuff that ticks me off. It's like, come on, guys, and here's the killer part. Being a Buc fan, it'd be nice if we could just get a break once in a while. You did have a lot more fans than you normally do in a home opener. I will give it that. And maybe the Tim McGraw did it, but it still wasn't a sellout. But the thing is, you had a chance to win that game to get, say, half of those people coming back.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And now, you lose, and you lose in that fashion. And, unless you do something extraordinary on Thursday night where the
that's
whole
what you
nation
need.
sees it.
That's because Thursday's because it's a quick turnover if they do something great. But if they get blown out Thursday, then you done lost them all.
Yeah.
You lost them all that quick.
Well, you didn't lose them all because you ain't losing me.
I'm at the fair weather fans.
Yeah,
you're gonna lose the fair weather.
And dude, the worst thing is the social media.
Because that's what they're waiting on. Because it's a quick turnaround. So you got the fair weather that's gonna be like, okay, maybe we do have a chance. They're gonna have a. I knew that's what it was. We're already 2-0, and it's not even in week 2. You're gonna have that hatred.
It's just like anything, man. People want to win. It really stinks when you get out there and you sit out there in that heat all day long. You cheer your lungs out so bad that you almost, black out. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then bottom line is you lose the game. It just, golly. But, it's like
they should have won
it's that
game,
anticipation. It's like a roller coaster, man. I mean, 7-6 at halftime. You're like, ooh, we dodged a bullet. Good job, defense. And you're thinking, okay, we just got to hold them on the first series and let's go get some touchdowns. And then a few calls that don't go your way.
Those
here
2
and there.
touchdowns hurt though. You're all right. Those
because
that's Cameron Brate's move. He scores touchdowns, and those are 2. That literally, at least give us one of those. One of those would have made a difference. The second one was questionable. The first one wasn't.
How bad Jameis is? They're bashing him on Facebook right now if that goes through. So. I don't know. I think the officiating is just like, the jitters with the players, first game out. And
everybody's got to call everything.
Oh, shoot. Did you watch? Now, let's talk on a better line, even though it's not Bucs. I don't know if you got to watch that Saints-Texans game.
I definitely did.
Yeah.
That was a good
game. There's a difference between a mediocre quarterback right now and an all-time GOAT. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Drew Brees, 37 seconds. I even said it. Too much time. They're going to win the game.
he's coming back.
That's him and
dude.
Tom Brady
37
right now.
seconds.
That's him and Tom Brady.
One timeout, 37 seconds. Drives the field. Guy kicks a 58-yarder. That's crazy, man.
Well, and that's a clutch kicker, man.
It doesn't matter. He did get his money this year. But
Well, he ain't that clutch. He missed earlier.
He did.
Yeah,
he
but
missed
he
earlier.
missed when he got it
but
uncounted.
58, there's not that many to hit a 58 right now.
Yeah, especially on the line. But the crazy part about that game is you look at it and you go, shoot.
Texans should have won
Houston
that.
came back through that bomb. I was like, damn, they got him. Then I looked at the clock. Too much time. If it would have been 15 seconds, we would have got him. But here's the funny thing. We were that close from being tied for first place.
Yeah. That's the whole,
That's what I'm saying. The Panthers lost. The Falcons lost. Like only the Saints won. So that doesn't hurt. Falcons look terrible. That was I was watching a little bit of Red Zone. That was domination.
I still don't understand how Matt Bryant didn't get any points. Did they not go for a field goal or extra points? I don't know. I couldn't figure that out. They
barely got anything going. Like Julio Jones, like he put up some yardage, but his touchdown was like at the end where it didn't matter. It was like for fantasy purpose. That's all his touchdown meant. Like they didn't do anything that whole game because of the red zone. I kept looking at the red zone when it popped up, and it was all the opponent. It was just Falcons. It was one highlight.
It was all highlights of like
it was like they're really getting dominated. It was like embarrassing. They got dominated.
Yeah.
But
they played the Vikings too, and the Vikings are pretty tough.
Yeah, but they're not the way. Yeah, but you would expect the Falcons. I mean, you would expect them to at least be competitive.
I agree.
The one joy I did get like from Sunday out of everything was being from Ohio, watching the Cleveland Browns get thumped was the most entertaining thing I got out of the whole day.
Watching the Browns.
That Browns hype was so ridiculous. Because I'm from Ohio. Like, I don't like Cleveland sports in general, but, like, that hype was really annoying.
Everybody loves the Browns.
Just because they got OBJ. Oh, man. And then I was just like, I was watching Red Zone. I was just smiling. Everything was going bad with the Bucs. I was still smiling when Baker was just throwing icks. But, like, the Tennessee.
Now, who did they play? Tennessee,
yes. So, yes.
Let me tell you something. Tennessee's a good football team.
They're a good team, but you know the Browns hype now. They were Super Bowl or bust this year how they started.
Yeah.
It was like a disappointment. That's how high they were on them.
I could have remembered when about 2 years back, and I remember Peter Schrager talking about, the Bucs are going all the way to the playoffs. They have a good shot at winning the NFC. I remember all that is hype until you buckle up.
Yeah.
You build
but
team
the Browns won. They won the all Madden team of like teams starting off the year of everything they brought together. So it just made it seem like they still could have a good year. But they come on, you know, you and me both are football, and we know how much they talked about the Browns this year. Like it's all there this year. Like it's finally here.
They were talking about competing with the Patriots.
Keep doing. That's what I'm. Thank you for.
I don't even think the Patriots need Mr.
Oh man, I don't even want to get into
they
that,
look so
man.
damn good. I was like, damn.
Come on, man. That's not even fair, though, man. You know you had to see that, and come on, man. That's not fair.
Watch what they wish for, though. You never know.
You never.
You never know.
See,
look at the Browns.
Okay.
Everybody expected.
Don't say the Browns. Come on, you put a top 3, maybe 1 receiver on a team that doesn't need him. Like what bad can happen? You know what? We gotta hope he just acts like Antonio Brown then. It doesn't get enough like catches and everything because that can happen.
Yeah, but just rewind it. As long as they got Tom Brady and Belichick, I call Belichick, because there is no way. There is no way.
They knew what they was doing.
There was no tampering going on.
All right,
no
continue.
way,
Make me feel better. Thank you.
Yeah, how do you sign a wide receiver 5 minutes after 4 o'clock and have the deal already done?
That's where he wanted to go. No,
Exactly.
you saw he hired a social media expert to help him get out the deal.
Yeah. And did you see how he acted when he found out they cut him?
He knew what it was, and then like you get the 15 man.
That whole thing was a social media circus.
No, it wasn't even that because like Nasty's right because the Steelers didn't want him to. That was the main team they said no to. So he knew they shut that team down in the trade. That was like all teams in the world you're not going to. We're not doing a trade with them.
Right.
And how about the Raiders, buddy?
I did
How about
like
the
that.
Raiders?
I was Hard Knocks. I like the Hard Knocks season minus Antonio Brown was annoying, but I like the tight end. And I like their running back, and I like what they did. I was impressed. I mean, they was playing Joe Flacco, but I mean, after everything that happened, y'all came out and y'all really showed out. That was the most impressed team I seen from last week.
Let's just pray and hope we can get a win on Thursday, and the Buccaneers can get back. Because here's the crazy thing: the winners are 1-0, and the losers are 0-1.
Yeah.
You're one game away from getting back into it. Every team in the NFL.
Saints lose. Saints lose next week, and we win Thursday. And it's like nothing happened from last week.
We win Thursday.
Yeah, because the Bucs are for the Panthers are 0-2.
Oh my God! If we win Thursday, I can't wait to get on Friday Facebook.
Come on now.
Because I'm gonna go
Facebook Live. I'm here. Wait.
I might even
Comments
ready.
ready.
And go live.
Yeah, you better go live and paint it up and just sit there like hands on your chin, just waiting continue.
With the face
continue.
Aw, what's up?
Waiting for these comments now. I'm hoping for it now, man. I'm telling you right now, third down back Jones is gonna do something because I saw what Todd Gurley was doing when they gave him time.
We could sit here and talk about a million excuses why we stunk it up, but I can tell you, you also had Devin White sick, you had Mike Evans sick. That goes hand in hand. But come on, guys, there were some calls that were like the last call, which was really meaningless anyway.
Yeah.
Where what was it? Sherman? Is it Sherman? Sherman.
Sherman.
It was pass interference, like ridiculous.
Sherman's
and
king of that.
They called it no pass interference. So I don't know what's football anymore, to be honest with you, with the refs. Oh, here's another example. Watching the Saints game, right? Mm-hmm. And the Saints end up picking off the ball, and their star receiver from the Texans ends up body slamming.
He body slammed the hell out of DeAndre Hopkins.
In bounds, though. So can you explain to me what the hell a tackle is anymore?
You can't slam him you can't pick him up and slam him.
Why?
I wasn't disagreeing with you. I was just saying
it makes no sense at all. That makes no sense at all. None at all. I mean, he didn't hit him in the head. He didn't horse collar him.
They call that now.
Picked him up and body slammed.
You've never seen that call yet?
I personally thought it was ridiculous.
No, because they've been calling it for like 2 years.
There was dudes getting
ejected
for that.
It's been a good 2 years.
Warren Sapp did it.
Yeah, no, it's been a good 2-3 years when they implemented that to college.
Well, let me tell you something. This has come from old school. Soft, and
I wasn't arguing.
Oh, it's total pussification,
Charmin,
man.
Bro. It's like Charmin.
He took you picked my quarterback, I'm gonna slam you. I'm a wide receiver too. If this was in the early '90s, if the wide receiver slammed him, we're gonna be happy.
But this ain't a quarterback.
I mean we're gonna celebrate the wide receiver picking up a slam in the DB or the linebacker. We celebrating that. Yeah, I know. I loved it too. I said, okay, I'm a DeAndre Hopkins fan. I loved it.
It wasn't a quarterback, which that's totally different. If a running back was done that way, what would they do?
But see, but you know what that though?
Yeah.
Say that he got into a spat like in the first half and this happened in the second half and he like pushed and they gave him unnecessary roughness. He would have been kicked out the game for slamming him. Because you only get one.
Man.
No, because you only get one. You only get one of those penalties.
You sound like one of those fans. You sound like one of those fans that need a pacifier.
That's what would happen. No,
that's what he's now.
I'm saying that's what would happen.
Hey, mommy, you probably were one of those kids in practice.
No, I wasn't saying I wanted to. That's the thing that would have happened if he would have slammed him. If he would have got a penalty.
That's just how it is now. Like
I loved it. But like that's the BS we got now. Like if he would have already got.
But I don't like it.
Yeah,
so it's shenanigans.
If he would have pushed the DB in the face and they would have fought real quick, a little handless spat, and they got a personal foul, and then he got a pick, and he would have slammed him. He'd have been gone for the game just for slamming him. Because 2 penalties like that, you get you kicked for the game now. So literally, a good tackle from the '90s would have lost him for the whole game. That's how stupid it is now.
I love what Hopkins said. He goes, "I guess next time I got a 2-hand touch him."
That's what I'm saying.
It's ridiculous, man.
I mean,
everybody else would have been like, boom.
Damned if you do, damned if you don't. I'm just like, come on now. When are we going to get back to football? And I hate to say it. You know, you brought up a good friend of mine, Chidi Hanatu.
Oh, Hanatu.
It wasn't soft when them guys played. It wasn't soft at all.
No, that was
real. Those guys played injured. Those guys played with concussions. They played football. And, I mean, them guys were, bones. I mean, you see fingers going different ways to still play. But now, the way these refs are calling the games, man, it's starting to get – there was way too many flags. I got to just tell you that. That's the beginning.
Yeah.
So I hope maybe by the second, third game that gets to stop because it sucks, you know?
Yeah. Man, a lot of the ref stuff, like, I think that was just first game, like –
First game jitters?
Yeah, well, they're just, man, all right, I'm going to set the tone. I'm going to be a hard ass this year. Like, because you see the same shit in, like, soccer and stuff, like, the first years, or, like, the first games of, like, the European stuff. The refs are calling everything. It's just, like, it's one of those, like, it's like the first game. I got to make sure I, show my shit. But half those calls are bunk anyway. Like, I'm all about busting heads, dude.
There's just a lot of questionable calls, way too many than I can remember. But you know, when it's flagrant, I get it. But like the Dotson thing, I mean, come on, man. All the way from little league to college, high school to college to pro. When you're blocking,
are you talking about the first or the second one?
Oh, hear me out. When Dotson's got his hands inside the shoulder pad,
the first one
anything
was
goes.
There. The first one was there, man. He pulled him on the first one. I saw the slow motion.
I was like, you called what? I was like, where are you seeing it? I mean, even the commentator said it, apparently.
On the second one.
I remember. Yeah, all I knew was he called us back a touchdown. I was like, you got to be kidding me.
It was twice, though. It did hurt. It did hurt.
Yeah,
But it was, you know how if it would have been like on like the same drive? It was two different drives. So that really hurts.
I know, and then you put the two touchdowns on it.
Yeah. So you at least say give them at least one?
Yeah, it's just, well, shoulda, woulda, coulda, but guys, we're 0-1.
Yeah.
It's time to get back on track, and I kind of like them having a short week to get this bad taste out of their mouth. Hopefully they'll come out with an attitude and kick some ass.
Cam's known to blow it, though, man. Let's be real. Cam can blow it. So we're going to hope for a bad Cam game. Like I told you, McCaffrey's going to do his thing. It's already knew that, but then you got me worried about McCoy. I wasn't even thinking about that.
The one thing, I'll be honest with you, out of all the teams in the NFL, I cannot stand the Carolina Panthers.
For
Never
real?
liked them when they can't. I don't know what it is.
Yeah.
I just can't stand them.
That's not the
I've
first
never
one I
liked
hear.
them. I mean, even when they had
DeLone?
You
hated. You know what? I ain't gonna lie. I hated DeLone. I hated DeLone too. I didn't like nothing about DeLone. I knew that's where he was going too. That was the first hatred I thought of the Panthers was DeLone.
Can't stand the Panthers. Oh.
You would punch Jake DeLone in the face if you saw him.
You know I'm going to London, and you all know I'm going to London for the game. And who are we playing?
Panthers.
The Panthers?
Yep, we're
in
playing
London?
the Panthers over
Man,
there.
if we can beat him this one, we can beat him in London too.
Let's just win one. Let's learn about winning one game right now.
Mm-hmm.
Let's just get this Thursday night.
Even if they lose close, just like we need Jameis to have a good game, and just show that like.
Listen to me. I don't care. If he throws 5 picks and we win by 1 point, I don't care.
That's a hard.
As long as we
that's
win.
That's a lot to ask for.
As long as we win.
You know.
That's a lot to ask for. We don't want 5 picks from him.
No, hell no. We don't want 1 pick. But bottom line is, I think if we can establish a running game and get it going quicker, I'll tell you right now, the reason why it was doing so well is San Francisco was beat tired. And what's crazy about that, they were hardly even on the field because our defense was on the field. I don't remember what the time of possession was, but I guarantee you, if you go back and look at that, you'll see our defensive line was probably on the field 75% of the game.
A lot.
It was ridiculous.
We had a lot of like passing going on, and when they started running more second half, so that's where it really started. Like I don't know, they gotta trust the run.
They were pounding them, and I kept on screaming, "Keep it up!" And they were still pounding them, and I mean that's why he was breaking them because that's where you win the games. And even coaches said that. He says you got to win it in the fourth quarter.
Yeah,
and they are conditioned to do that. So, hey, I'm looking forward to Thursday night. I hope you guys are going to watch it. You're probably going to the movies.
Oh yeah.
If I know you guys are probably going to the movies. You're going to turn on.
Shit.
Go watch
Come
the
on
movie
now,
and
son.
do-
I'm
and
really-
I can see y'all.
I'm really
I can see
offended.
y'all fighting over the popcorn.
I
Y'all be
think-
fighting
You
over the
know good and
popcorn.
well to all people in this room right now that I'm
I
gonna.
think we're doing.
Everything you talk, I'm piggybacking. You know I watch football hard. I'm gonna be
Shit,
on.
y'all probably gonna be in your Carolina boxers, eating popcorn, watching the game. It's gonna be one of
I'm
those.
making a bacon wrapped beef tenderloin and drinking straight whiskey and be watching the Bucs game, hooting and hollering.
Damn you, dog! If I was having that damn board of directors meeting, I'd be
Yeah,
sitting right there.
we're gonna be
That's
watching
right,
the game.
man.
What are you gonna be doing? You're not even watching
Yeah.
the game.
You
Don't
gotta
get on
phone
I'll
us.
be sitting there.
Yeah, you
I'll
got
be
you
sucking
got an
my thumb,
appointment.
listening to stupid.
Yeah.
Well, do you think we should do something different for charity this year?
Can you give me about 2
We have
hours?
obligations. I'm gonna be home just sitting there having a beer and watching the game while you have your things you have to do. So I'll let you know what happens. You're gonna miss about. So
I
we'll
ain't
talk
missing
next
another-
game. So
the only thing I'm gonna miss is
tape it.
I just won't have sound. That's the deal. I'll be
Yeah.
able to watch it, but I won't have sound, which
Okay.
will suck. So,
So you're
All
gonna
right,
so
guys,
if something
man,
bad
it's-
happens. You're gonna be
Hey,
yelling.
oh
You
yeah,
gotta keep it cool.
that's what I'm
It's gonna
scared
be
of.
on mute though. It's gonna be on mute. You're good.
Oh, they know. They know who I am. Shoot, it's our organization. It's the Hall of Fame, guys.
Yeah.
So bottom
they
line is,
know.
and I'm going to let them have it too. I think because I'll have the volume off, and then if we score, I'm going to go ballistic purposely on the phone.
And it's
Oh,
like
okay.
you
Right,
knew what you
yeah.
would get into when you called it this time. So I'm about to scream all the way. Yeah, that was.
This is
that's
what you
fine.
get.
I might even drop some F bombs if we get down.
Oh yeah.
If it's a
Yeah.
if Jamie throws a pick six, you better throw an F bomb. You better.
Oh, hey, get that out of your head.
Yeah, we're not
Are you
hearing
fucking
that.
smoking
You
something again?
just said it.
I told you to leave that stuff
I
at
was
home, damn
piggybacking
it.
what you just said. You was talking about F
Hey,
bombs or
I'm
something
thinking
happened.
pick six. Now, shit, whenever you get the pick six, how you
No
gonna feel?
pick
I'm gonna feel
six.
like Tutti Frutti. What do you
I'm
think
gonna
I'm
be
gonna
mad as
feel like?
hell.
Jesus Christ.
I'm
Hey,
gonna throw
guys,
it in
it's been
Vegas.
great.
Thanks, my
All right,
friend.
It's been
thanks,
great
Big Nasty.
talking with you guys.
All right.
All right.
Talk to you next
Hey,
week,
let's
bud.
do this again. Let's
Yeah,
do this
man.
Yes.
next Tuesday.
That's
Huh?
right. Next Tuesday, my friend.
Definitely.
All right, after a Buccaneer victory.
I like
damn,
it.
You're
I
damn
like it.
right.
All right, guys.
Thanks,
All
man.
right.
Be good. Have a great show.
All
right,
guys
thank
rock
you.
the house.
Thanks, buddy.
Bye-bye.
This is what I had planned today to play this
Yeah.
before we got into it.
Yeah.
And it was going to be like
Didn't
Jazz and Mark's
build
NFL.
up our NFL build up.
Yeah. But that didn't work.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
That's all right. We got our
You can
audio
hear it
figured
though,
out.
right?
I can hear it right now, man.
All right.
Yeah.
So I do apologize for the
That
technical
guy's such a
delay.
nice guy, man.
Yeah, he is.
Excuse me. All right,
All
I
right.
need a new beer, dude.
Yeah, I mean, let's kind of go out with this for a little bit and savor the flavor of the Bucs winning on Thursday.
Yeah, I'm excited.
And then thank you so much to Big Nasty.
Yeah, man. We're already set up for next week.
That's right. I think we'll do this again like every
I'm all about it, man.
every
Good game.
every week. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like a segment. All right, we'll be back in a minute. Bull and the Bartender Show only on Bulls Radio Lounge. Stand by. We'll be back.